something. Maybe you can explain this mystery to me, Scott. I think we are live. Well, how?
See.
Oh, you don't see
I
it?
don't see us on. Hang on.
Oh, you don't. It says in stream. When it gives me that little red thing, it says in stream. I assume we're streaming.
Oh, yeah, no. Is it the Razorfist challenge?
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah, we're live. Okay, I just didn't click on the right thing. We're live. I can see you're completely white. Why?
Yes, I'm closer this time. I decided to get closer to my drawing.
Okay.
I for the sake of see how big my hands are. Or you can't.
Oh,
probably.
Yes.
See,
Yes, I can. I can. I'm glinting at the thing.
But yeah, my drawings will be, and they'll probably be more in focus too. The reason I'm doing it, I'm going to do a bunch of thumbnails for that Razorfist challenge.
Oh, I don't know what the Razorfist challenge is.
Well, I just learned about it about 20 minutes ago. He's got a contest or an art contest.
Oh, there you go.
Dan says, I see you, I see everything. His Ghost of the Badlands. Yeah, Ghost of the Badlands. He's got a graphic novel out. He didn't do the art. He is an artist, but he's got another artist.
He was.
Yeah, he's got another artist I follow on Instagram that did the art. And it looks pretty good.
What looks pretty good?
The Ghost of the Badlands.
Oh.
So I'm not going to copy the style or anything. I'm just going to do something.
Do you?
It sounds a lot like Lone Ranger. You know, there's a guy that gets shot up. And
who was that masked man?
Yeah. I mean, he was maybe a criminal himself and becomes, the Lone Ranger. Well, he wasn't a criminal, was he? He was a ranger who was gunned down.
I have no idea. I watched the show, but I don't know anything about.
Well, Tonto.
I don't know. I just know Tonto.
Tonto saved his life. Came upon him, saved his life.
Oh, is Dan writing this? Dan?
No.
Oh.
I'm just having thoughts occur to me about it.
Oh, okay. Random thoughts. Just like we were complaining about the other guy.
What you got for me, Scott?
What do I got for you?
No.
Oh, Daniel. Oh, what have I got for? I'm working on page 8, man. I did the roughs last night, and so I'm hoping to get the rest of it done quickly. I've been doing 30 minutes on the elliptical every night, Ellis.
Yeah, tell me all about the how's the weight doing?
My weight is I think I'm down a couple. It's down a couple pounds. You know, I make the mistake of weighing every day, which I
don't do that. Do it once a week.
Well, yeah. No, I'm sorry, not every day, twice a day. But I mean, I'm down. I mean, like right now, this moment. Well, before I ate supper, I weighed the least I've weighed since before the pandemic.
Okay.
But I thought I was going really good, and then it kind of last weekend we had a bad weekend, and it went up, but then it dropped. But here's my thing: my weight will drop during the week, and like right now, it is lower than it was last Friday, and so I feel like that's a good sign because that means that. Because my weight is normally lowest on Friday, is what I'm getting at. Mm-hmm. And it was today, it was as low as it was last Friday. And so it's like, okay, it's trending down. However, I got a letter from my doctor telling me that I need to drink more water, basically. He said my kidney function was down a little bit. And he said, what anything to be alarmed about? And it's probably related. But he said it's, got to get the blood pressure down, got to get the, which my blood pressure is good. I've been checking it. Of course, I'm taking a pill.
Says Lone Ranger. Yep, he and his brother were Texas Rangers that were ambushed by Butch Cavendish. Okay, you got this. who was
I
played by
told you.
Frankenstein monster actor Glenn Strange. Bruce, I assume, yeah, Strange had played a lot of heavies back then. Of the six Rangers, only the Lone Ranger survived the ambush. And Tonto, of course, came upon him and healed Kimasabi.
I
And
like the Far Side. I like the Far Side. You ever see the Far Side where it's got Tonto looking in, or a Lone Ranger looking in a Cherokee dictionary or whatever, and it says Kimasabi, horse's rear.
hey, yeah, and he's saying something like, "What the?"
Yeah, what the? Gary Larson is like the
Oh, he
best of
was a
this.
genius. God, nobody's touched him since. I mean,
Nope,
he was just a
nope.
guy that was a great gag writer who had a sense of how to draw funny too. Such a rare talent to come up with
One
his
of those
own vocabulary.
one of those books has some biographical stuff in it,
Yes, I
and
think
it
it's the one
talks
with the
about his
museum, right?
drawing.
The, yeah.
Maybe, but I remember. I don't know if I have that or not. But I remember reading that where it talked about how his he tried to draw, but he's like he thought he'd never be a cartoonist because he couldn't draw. That's this thing. I can't draw.
Yeah, it's funny to see him every now and then talk about saying, "I think I got this." He's talking about some sort of thing he really thinks is
Yeah,
rendered well, and it's like, okay, yeah, it looks pretty good.
yeah.
But of
I
course,
mean,
it still looks like something that's just a step up from a kid how he would draw. You know?
oh, I see. Okay, so this is the disagreement that Dave and I always have because Dave looks at some of that stuff and he's like, "Oh man, anybody should be able to draw that." And I'm like, "Man,
No, no,
that's
no.
harder. That I mean, you can copy. I mean, you can sit down and copy somebody like that, but to do original drawings
Yes.
that are cartoony, it
Hmm.
can be pretty hard if you haven't
Oh,
worked at it.
extremely
But
hard.
there are. I have a great book, maybe downstairs, about how to draw The Simpsons. Have you ever seen that?
Uh-uh.
And it just breaks up. It breaks all the characters down into cubes
Uh-huh.
and cylinders. A lot of them are cylinders,
Sure, sure. The big
you
shapes.
know. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
it's good. It's a good. If you're not because I'm not really a cartoony guy, because that's not really what it was interest me. So, but if you have the code and you can do that, you can kind of make do with it, kind of, I guess.
Dan is saying, get you a good water jug. Fill it up in
Yes.
the
Well,
morning and nurse it during the day. Yeah.
I don't know if you can see this. This
Uh
is
huh.
this is 32 ounces. I'm supposed to drink two of these. Yeah, you know what? I need to buy me a big jug and drink because I'm supposed to drink between 50 and 60 ounces of non-caffeinated water. No, I didn't know there was such thing as non-caffeinated water. My wife had to explain this to me.
Uh, I didn't know that people were making a big deal like caffeinating water.
Well, no, he's talking about don't drink coffee all the time. You
Oh, okay.
slob.
Oh, I
That's
got
what
him.
he's telling me.
Okay.
So yeah, that's
Yeah,
gonna be.
that's okay. Now I'll start thinking of it by the way, because that's how I get my water most of the day. Until a certain time when it's coffee time is over, I start really slugging the bottled water.
Yeah, that's what I need to get. Well, the problem is at work. I used to drink a lot of water at work, but I can't. I'm on the phone. I'm up and down. My job. I told my wife if I quit my job, then all my problems would go away. She
Well,
almost
I mean,
bought it.
probably would.
I guarantee you my
Uh,
blood pressure would probably drop 20
oh yeah,
points.
sure.
God,
Stress,
I'm
man,
so.
it's a killer.
Well, I mean, the good thing is I don't really. I mean, I don't really feel stressed, but holy cow, I got a bunch of stuff to do.
What
So you know
about
what I've been.
what about
You know my.
Kool-Aid without the sugar? Yeah, that'd be good.
That might
Yummy.
do. That might
Tart.
do it. But yeah, so I guess anything to keep my kidneys pumping or whatever. But he didn't seem concerned about it. But I'm a little concerned about it. I don't want to be on dialysis at my young age.
No. I wanted to tell you something you might find pretty interesting.
Yes.
Let's see, make sure I'm caught up with Dan here.
Okay.
Give us a year, we'll do Black Cricket full time. Sure.
Okay.
Okay, this is something I've been getting a lot of hits on lately. This is YouTube saying, "Oh, he's interested in this," and getting all kinds of hits of stuff I'd never even heard of. And there's something called Film Hub that, as lowly as you may be as a filmmaker, you can submit your work to this Film Hub. And if it's, if it's not an instant reject, they try to find a place for it with Tubi, Amazon, or whatever. They try to find a home for your content. And
dude, you should put coin toss on there.
Exactly. That sort of thing is what I'm thinking about, but not. I could do 50 more shorts, and then try to find. They're looking for feature length. At least an hour documentaries.
Anytime you want to do another movie, I'm down for it.
I knew you'd dig that because it is a fun kind of creativity to try to get together and try to knock something out like that.
Yes,
which
cool.
Speaking of, if I wasn't so what do they call that when you're anti-technology? What do they call you?
A Luddite.
A Luddite. If I wasn't such a Luddite, I would be on a Zoom call tomorrow with a guy making a documentary on Doug TeNaples' Mothman movie that never came out anywhere. And he says,
why are you not on that?
Well, I could be on it, but I don't want to get it on a Zoom call, and I also don't want to embarrass myself. And
why? Why do you care if you embarrass yourself?
I don't care really, but there's a couple things keeping me off. But okay. What else was I going to say about that? Oh yeah, but that sort of thing that's just made for getting on Film Hub. Doug's old movie. It's like, here, take this. There's some people say they want to see it somewhere, and he may have a little bit of a conflict with the person that helped produce it. Of course, there are things that obviously are in play with something that is a collaborative effort. You got to make sure everybody gets their whistle wet. That is due anything.
Well, it's funny we had this conversation because I'm not saying I'm going to do this, but I was thinking, I did that comic Heaven's Rejects, and the publisher put it out, but they're not keeping it in print. And I was thinking, this Zipatone comic thing that I did was pretty nice and came out pretty good. What if I did Heaven's Rejects as a Zipatone? I had an issue with the profanity, and I thought, what if I did it as a Zipatone and then either didn't letter it, just did the inks, and
I told you I'd help you completely repurpose it if you wanted to do that. Just take the whole content. Of course, you can't get away from the fact that underlying it, there is some sort of narrative that was obviously in place. But you might have, one of those things where you could, like they used to do, the old avant-garde authors back in the on the road days, where they'd take index cards and throw them here, there, and yon, and say, okay, now I'll put this in here, and that's how they'd write. But you could do that. You could shake it up for yourself a little bit. Say, is there another story in here that
Oh, I see what you're saying. That would be funny.
No, that'd be great.
What was
it's your art.
Movie?
It's your art, and it's just tons of stuff, tons of hours you spent.
What's the Woody Allen movie that was? He took an old movie.
What's Up, Tiger Lily?
Yeah, and he took a Japanese movie and re-dialogued it.
I probably will never laugh harder than I laughed at that time at that drive-in watching it. What's Up, Tiger Lily? I thought that was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. It was Woody Allen being his most genius. There was there was a million people later on going to copy him with that, adding a new soundtrack to found material like that.
I wonder if I get away with that if I
If you got a public domain.
Well, no, I own the art.
Oh yes, you could get away with it. You could make a motion comic out of it. You could put it on YouTube with your own narration.
I just here's the thing. I think it would be cool. I think it would look cool with grayscale.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to. It's sad. I don't even own. Somebody emailed me and was like, "Hey, I don't want to say who it was, but it's somebody else that did pinups for it."
Mm-hmm.
And they said, "Hey, can I get a? Are you going to send me copies of my cover?" Which I said, "Well, they never made a cover of it, which that wasn't really the intention of the pinups." I said, "But I didn't even get copies of it, and that's how bad they hated me by the end of that project." But but that would be that. I didn't think about just not even re-dialoguing it, just rewriting it.
Yes, totally. Look at it image to image. Yeah,
that's a great idea. And then, I wonder if I could get away with that.
Oh, absolutely.
No, I mean, I wonder if I could make it work.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Well, that's always the creator's question. Can I make this work? I don't know.
Will this fly? I don't know. Dan says, "Don't you dare do that. Don't steal from your writer."
Yeah. Well, no, you're not stealing. That's the point.
Well, he's using my logo that he's put on. He's selling product with the logo I made. So, I mean, I wonder if the publisher would have a big deal. Why would they care?
They would never even know about it. You would put that out. It would not call itself Heaven's Rejects.
You're right about that. I'd definitely have to change the name.
You wouldn't even touch what they neglected doing for you. Making something out of something.
Yeah. I was telling a guy at work that what I'd like to do is if next time I go to a con, if I ever go to a con again and have a table, I'd like to have it as a like backup in a sketchbook, part of it, just to get a little more mileage out of that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Put a lot of work into it.
I'll have to send you some links from some of these guys that there's this one guy that you could just tell by he's very articulate. He was on this thing called Film Courage, where a lot of industry guys that are taken seriously are on and talking about his thing. But he's one of these guys that is a to-be abrogator, and he's making money off of it. But they're obviously just little nothing. And you know what his trial grounds where he learned his stuff was on YouTube. And so it's always taken is his knowledge of having made little films for YouTube and just expanded that slightly to, do cut and paste documentaries of this or that interests him. And that'd be a good way to start is to, get you a whole bunch of film stills and say, hey, look at me, I'm Ken Burns, and, make it interesting enough. And of course, that's a lot of what YouTube is. All this kayfabe stuff is is saying, "Hey, look at me, I'm Ken Burns. Let's open this book up and talk about it." Well, not really. Those guys are more improv with each other.
I keep telling Dave, if we would put Better Than Fiction on YouTube, it would be huge.
Yes. Yep. I try to convince you guys of that. Just do little fade outs of you wouldn't even have to have 10 images that faded from one to the other. Get one image per everybody that's talking about something, and just one image per thing, slowly getting closer to it. That entire image, you could do that so quick and easy, and for the entire time it's being talked about, you just slowly zooming in on the thing you're talking about. That'd be all your work.
Dave would rather not put out something than to put out something that he does not consider perfect.
Oh my. That'll keep you
arrested. Keep you yes, the arrested is a good locked up like a
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of which, Doug's Mothman, that's the only reason I think it's not out there. Doug doesn't want people to see anything that, we've talked about this before. The greatest sin in attempting something like a movie is to be boring. Doug doesn't want anything out there where he bores your socks off. And this has got some slow points, got some amateur acting. It's not great. So big deal. There's a lot of people that would dig because the artist in Doug comes through in it several times. It would be interesting for people to see. But, that's the sort of thing that people, Doug, he's got this thing. He's a 0 to 60 guy. He did like 10,000 NFTs when that was hot. He did 10,000 pieces of original art.
10,000 NFTs?
Yeah, he basically,
10,000?
He came up with little templates and would turn his kids, everybody with it. He would give them the pieces and they had to rearrange the stuff. He basically came up with a jigsaw puzzle system for new character designs for his NFTs, and they all look, a lot better than what most people's NFTs look like, and with that wide variety of it. But some little thing, we did have a conversation at one point, and I asked him, "How much did you make on that?" And he said that there was just it was just basically hazardous almost. He almost lost money on it toward the end. So it's like. He put all that work into it and didn't really. He cleaned up for a while, but then it all evened out.
How do you lose money on NFTs? I didn't think that was possible.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I think he got scammed. He also got scammed on it in some way or other. I forget. I can't remember the details.
Okay. So we're making more movies.
Because it's not my life. I can't. No, I'm trying to make a point of what an egotist I am. It's like, I can't remember that. That isn't about me.
I don't care. I've got my own things.
Yeah.
I've got my own problems.
Yeah, I do. Making movies again. All they take is us doing it.
I've said that for 3 years.
Yeah.
You've even got a script, Space Madness.
Oh yeah, but that's a little short.
Well, yeah. So what we need is you need to come up with multiple episodes involving the same characters, and we'll do that.
Well, yeah. That's the sort of thing that you need to percolate on it. If that really stimulates you, do some thinking about it. What it could be.
Guy's face looks terrible.
Well, I tell you what, those faces. Just think of your inker every time you do your faces. It's like, how would my inker approach this?
How would Kevin?
Yeah.
Who may be listening. He's been known to listen. Well,
what was that? Oh, did you check out that art I sent? That link. That apparently his name is Rez or Torre. He's apparently the new artist on Conan for whoever's putting that out. And I asked you guys if he looked to you more like Hubert or Buscema. I know how to pronounce his name. I can't do it. Buscema. Yeah, Buscema. And I asked you guys who he looked like more. And Barry's verdict was he looked like Buscema pencils. Once he did his inks, he turned into Kirby.
Oh, I guess I didn't see that. I
have to send it. It's just this little YouTube this guy put out of a rough, and at the very end of it, he turns it into an animated GIF of Conan's upper body kind of heaving like he's breathing hard after having killed 100 people.
Oh, as you will.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a good aerobic exercise. You probably lose a lot of weight if you get out and kill on a regular basis.
That's probably.
Well, I better not say that. It's in the news anymore.
We're like, oh my gosh.
It's unfortunately in the news too much, but get out there and kill. Neil Hamburger.
One guy's still on the loose that killed.
Oh yeah, the guy that did it. He's out there. And they know he's got a semi-automatic rifle with a tendency to just unload. And apparently, I don't know enough about him yet, but nobody, they keep saying that they don't want to give you details about people, but you can't help wanting to know about the guy. He had 20 years in the military. I want to know about all of that military record. Hey, it says here, if it helps, I can reference photos of the actress, Scott. Hey, send him some photos. Yeah, I can send some. That is.
I think I've deviated enough from what he sent me that I don't know how much it would help. It's just that I didn't have her nose projected out far enough. I think this looks a lot better. Ellis may feel otherwise, but who cares?
Oh no, I've quit criticizing on that kind of level. I think whatever you do is you're doing.
Is great.
You're getting your X is what you're doing. I think we ought to be all encouraged to dig into that and talk to the muse.
Fair enough.
Scott, can I get a close up of Danish? What?
Yes, Side profile.
Yeah, you see right there, you've got her nose right. You've got it.
This one?
Little part. No, the other one. You've got to get it. Just draw the underside of it and have it pointed a little more toward the sky, and you'll have it. Don't even draw anything that goes around. The moment it takes the curve going up into the air, quit drawing.
Is that you saying that?
Yeah, well, it's
or
just
Dan?
It's me. Sorry.
Oh, okay. This reminds me of a conversation I had in my household. I won't say it, and I was told, "You're driving too fast," and I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" And then it's like, "Oh, well, I only, it's like, well, don't criticize my driving. Well, you're driving. I only complain when you're in the neighborhood driving too fast." Until the next time I was not in the neighborhood, and then it was like, "You're driving too fast." I go, "Wait a minute, I'm not in the neighborhood. I drive as fast as I want to drive."
Oh well, well, whoever's criticizing you, I'm
not going to say because I may have to live with them.
Yeah, I've kind of stuck my feet on the floorboard with you a couple times when you're in that Subaru. You do like it fast sometimes.
There. Okay, I erased the line, Ellis. We'll see.
Okay, let's see. Look, get closer.
There.
See if I like it.
Maybe Kevin will put it back in the inks.
Okay. I can't see it there. Move it over. Okay. Now, the deal is where a guy can always auto correct is thinking of the planes of the head on that sort of stuff. You know what you do that it's like it's odd that you always challenge yourself with a 3/4 top down view, because it's really tough to draw. If you would kind of like skip some of your 3/4 top down views, it's like I said about Moebius. The guy obviously just came up with some rules for himself. It's like, I'm never going to change my grid from this nice long lens, There's the ghost of the Badlands busting through the swinging doors of your typical saloon. Trying to do good silhouettes.
So what do you have to do for this contest?
Well, you just have to draw something and send it to Razorfist, I guess. So I'll do that.
But is it so? Like, do you have to do a finished drawing or
it's whatever you consider art, apparently, and the payoff is if you win, a Razorfist sends you a toy, some sort of collectible, one of those nice collectible figures. I guess it's more like a resin kit. Dan says, "No, that looks good." I always heard the best approach. Here we go. I've always heard the female noses. The best approach is the fewer lines, the better. Yeah. Just the nostrils most of the time.
Yes.
And yeah. Oh yeah. I'm making myself laugh thinking about Cliff Hansen criticizing me for a drawing I did of a figure, some sort of model.
That's the phone book guy,
right? Phone book guy. And we did tracings of photos. So the client had sent a photo, and I traced it up, doing it with my understanding of rendering and all that. And around the crotch area, I'd gotten a little heavy, I guess, on showing how the edge turned around her crotchal area. And it says, no, I have to say it like Cliff did. That's around there. You got to have a lighter touch or whatever. It says you got her looking like she's got a bulldog. The word starts with a D. Anyways. It's like, okay,
you were just ahead of your time, Ellis.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'll always remember that little critique of my feminine drawing. It's like Cliff telling me, keep those bulldog private parts out of your drawing.
Oh yeah, Jim Mooney's great. I have my somewhere around here's my Supergirl. That
Jim Mooney.
Did Supergirl.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Any of those guys that are selected to draw your favorite female superheroes are going to be guys you're going to want to copy. Because they'll have it down. And you go all the way to stylistic guys. You can get a guy to look at and ignore it for your own personal style for the most part is Shane Glines. That guy, he's going to give you a little, barely even have a note about the nose. Ellis, you said that, my mind went straight to Aaron Gray as Wilma Deering. Yeah. I forget what I said. Oh, Wilma. Do you feel like Wilma Deering had a bulldog protuberance?
Protuberance.
Wilma Deering. I remember that show. What was I seeing about that show? Well, they had their little conflicts on Buck Rogers, and it's like everything gets put out, and it's just a miracle it exists anyway. Yeah, they had a whole lot of evolution go on during the production of that show, where they had changes that went on. That from season to season, saying, "Hey, we're losing an audience. We got to change everything."
I liked that show as a kid. I don't think I could watch it nowadays.
Oh no, Oh, and they had a whole season where they mysteriously, they had some sort of dispute with Mel Blanc for some reason. And
see the voice of the robot?
Yeah, voice of the robot, and all of a sudden, without explanation period, they just had Tweaky, or whatever his name was, just went mute,
Right. In retrospect, probably for the best.
Yeah. Yeah, really, the dumb personality they gave him wasn't all that great.
Well, I don't know. I mean, when I was a kid, I liked that stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was a big science fiction fan when I was a kid, and I would stay up late, and I would watch like the Flash Gordon serials and some of that kind of stuff. And so when Buck Rogers came along, I was like, okay, just like Flash Gordon, and no comparison.
Schaffenberger, how old is this Schaffenberger? I mean, what era? Just always did the best women. His Lois Lane and Lana Lang were the best. That's from Dan. No, you mentioned female crotches. Yeah, you could think about her. I hit puberty watching that show. Yeah. One minute I was talking like Alfalfa from our gang, and then I was talking like Barry White. Yeah. Yeah, it happens that way. It's like, hey, what is this? What gives?
I feel funny. What's going on? I don't know what this is.
Oh, yeah. This show I'm watching on Netflix, it's just annoying. I won't go into details, but it's called Bodies. And of course, it's got to have its woke moments, and it's like otherwise. It's apparently one of those British, nicely done Judge Dredd quality, kind of like really nice illustrations. But it's got this intriguing time travel story and all that. Says, the producers cheaped out with Mel Blanc. They tried to save money by getting a cheaper voice actor. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Bad idea.
Every artist that sends this into Razorfist is going to be saying, oh, well, this is how this guy ought to look. Well, just be an art contest saying, okay, this is how you should have done this instead of that guy you got.
Oh yeah, well I would say whatever you're going to draw, make it
yours.
Different.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I drew that shadow thing, that shadow drawing.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
And the guy told me don't send me. Because I kind of talked to the guy. I was like, oh, yeah, I'd like to submit something. And he said, well, don't send me a picture of the shadow shooting his 45s. I get those every day, or all the time, I think is what he said. I don't know, the shadow fanzine gets art every day, but, and so I was reading one of the books, one of the pulps, and it went to, he went to a bowling alley. And I thought, well, that'd be kind of interesting. And I think there's a movie that takes place. Part of it takes place behind the machinery. So I thought, well, that's where the shadow should be. He wouldn't be walking down the lanes. He'd be.
Season 2 of Buck Rogers, classic example of how to course correct a show and kill it. Yeah. Yeah. Still better than Galactic 1980, though. I didn't see any Galactic 1980s.
No, I don't think was that when it came. That's when it came back. I missed that. I missed a lot of that stuff when I was a kid because they run it on Sunday nights. And there's no way to watch it if you didn't watch it
Yeah,
live.
you're going
I
to
was
church.
going to night church. Yeah, rather watch. I'd rather not watch it and not burn in hell. So I went to church.
There you go.
I don't know that it's the either or choice, but
Probably. We just don't know it yet.
maybe one day I'll find out.
Send him a Margot Lane. Margot Lane. I see that name, and I think of Alec Baldwin leaning into it. Margot Lane. That was a good movie. I liked the Baldwin Shadow. Yeah.
You know, I have not seen it since it was at the theater, and I remember being disappointed because it had its goofy moments.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe I need to pick up that DVD. I don't know.
Do it. It's visually the guy that directed The Highlander. What's his name? Russell Mulcahy, who also did a lot of early MTV videos that were really well thought of. He does a great visual job of doing that Michael Kaluta pulp image of the Shadow.
Yeah, I mean, there were bits I liked. There was bits I didn't like. I remember.
Yeah. Well, you know, if you were really into the Shadow as a guy that you wanted to be dead serious and all that, the fact that you've got Jonathan Winters in it doing his regular bit, you know, you're getting some nice whimsy with the whole thing. And no doubt, you know, I mean, Shadow, Winters is of an age that he would have been a Shadow fan. I mean, who couldn't have been a Shadow fan that became an entertainer himself and grew up in that era?
Yeah.
I don't know that Winters maybe did a little radio himself in terms of like a radio dramatist.
I don't know when he started his career, but I could see it, you know.
Yeah. I guess there is a certain cutoff for where you consider yourself, where people are even paying for basically radio dramas.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of them went on into the 50s, I think, but I don't know.
It was well casted. Baldwin is a weenie in real life, but he made a great Shadow. Yeah, damn handsome guy, and then when they put him in that makeup, man, yeah, it looked great.
Yeah, he pulled it off.
Tim Curry, Ian, yeah, that's right. Ian McKellen was in it, and Peter Boyle playing in the scene on the bridge where he saves. Yeah, and that's how it starts off. It very much has a good hook. Scene on the bridge.
That's straight from the books too, by the way.
Oh, really? He saves the guy, and he says,
yeah,
you owe me your life.
Yeah, that's how he got his agents, and one of them, I forget which agent that was, but one of them.
Unless you're an ingrate, you owe me your life.
Well, you know, that's how one finds followers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You save them from suicide, and then you got everything you need right there. They're obligated.
Oh, does he save one or two of them from suicide or not?
No, he saves the one. I forget the character's name, but yeah.
Well, that would be something, you know. I mean, someone saying, "I'm checking out," and then the Shadow says, "No, you're not."
Yeah.
Oh, there's that movie about the archangels with Christopher Walken, where he makes an uncooperative or a unwilling slave of someone, apparently, since you're headed straight to hell, if an angel feels like saying, hey, you're my helpmate for the period of me being on earth needing to do something. So he gets this guy that's just committed suicide, and the guy hates every inch of working with the guy. He's some sort of archangel, and he just hates his guts. He wants to just be allowed to go his way. I forget what that movie was. The one about heaven, hell, angels. I did like this one shot where it's yeah, thank you, Dan. Looking good, nice stuff. Appreciate it. But the
Oh, thank you. Oh, he's talking about you.
yeah.
I'm unfamiliar with this movie, Ellis.
Yeah, what is that movie? He
How old
he's
is
got
it?
this one scene where this angel perches and they have a time lapse thing, and he doesn't move an inch. And so it shows that like just hours pass while this guy's just perched like a hawk on this one little spot. It's pretty cool. It just shows, it's like, hey, my patience is built a bit different than a mortal.
Yeah.
I don't flinch around and pick my nose or anything like that. I just sit here. Scott, your work always rocks.
Thank you.
It's what they say about that goes without saying. Is there an abbreviation for that or something like that? Goes without saying. I always hate that when people use abbreviations. What do you call it? Anagrams or whatever.
Like as far as I know, or
yes, that's what
AF. Yeah.
LOL. I know that one. That's used enough, but there's others that are not used enough that I have to look up. I'm just not hip enough. I've known that a long time. If I was hip, I'd probably be rich.
You don't write enough emails. If you wrote 100 emails a day, you'd use any shortcut you could muster up.
Mm-hmm. I tried to draw a whole lot of twist in this horse, and I got his spine a little broke.
It's like a weenie dog, eh?
Yeah. Can't even decipher it. Oh, well.
It looks like one of the dancing alligators in
exactly.
in Fantasia. Is that where the alligator? What is it?
The line of action in him goes to here, and then I just jump off to there, and they do not connect. So, but that's what doodling and sketching and exploring. I've got an idea that I tell myself, I can improve on that. That's the point.
I've decided I'm gonna. I don't know when I'm gonna, but at some point my sketchbook is gonna become off limits to anybody. No one's gonna look at it, just so I can just draw in it and be like, I'm not showing anybody. I'm not putting it on the internet.
Dogma. Yeah, that's the way to be. You guys ever see Dogma? I don't think I have. Alan Rickman. Yeah, he sounds like he would be a good angel. That guy.
I've seen Dogma. It's been a long time.
I think I was a good actor. Of course, Die Hard.
I got the sketchbook thing from John Byrne. When I saw him here in Oklahoma City way back in the 90s, I asked him if he kept a sketchbook. And he said, for years I've kept the sketchbook that nobody gets to see. And he said, I just draw in it. And he said it was just for pure, and he threw them away when he was done, which think about that. How many thousands of dollars of sketches did he throw away?
He just didn't want people saying, this is awful.
Well, it wasn't even that. It was just that he wanted the freedom to be like, I can try stuff,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
and
No,
then,
I get that.
yeah, absolutely. I am going on vacation in a few weeks, Ellis.
Oh, you are. Have you got the destination?
Yes.
Have you got it all mapped?
Oh yeah, we got it all mapped. We're getting a rental car and everything.
All right. That'll be just a big part of the fun, won't it?
Yeah, well, we're driving to Pensacola, Florida, where my cousins live.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to drive there in one day, which is about a 12-hour drive. So that's going to be a long day. But we're also when we on the way back, we're going to stop in Orlando, in New Orleans for a couple days.
Uh-huh. What was I seeing about New Orleans the other day? They can always alarm you about something, but it was
Oh
some
yeah,
sort of
well,
alarming thing.
it's not the safest town in the world. I
No.
know that. But I mean, what is nowadays, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And Ma's telling us it's coming to you. If you step on our toes too hard, we're coming at you.
Oh yeah. Well, Hamas. Heck, forget about Hamas. It seems like
Well, Iran. I
certain
mean,
members of
Iran.
Congress. Oh,
Yes.
Iran. Yeah.
Yeah, Iran has been saying it.
I think
Which,
certain
with that
members of
wide open
Congress.
border, they've probably got guys sitting around in cheap apartments saying, "Just send me in, coach."
Yeah. Put me in. I'm ready. Yeah.
Dang. Seriously. You
What?
got to go dumpster diving at Burns Place. His horror at the idea of
Oh, and John Byrne. Yeah, yeah,
throwing
yeah.
away his stuff.
Oh, I agree. Well, there have been several sketchbooks of his that have come up for sale, and he's talked about how they were stolen by people that knew him.
Hmm.
You know, that stole them and then eventually sold them.
I have to get out my Mybridge's locomotion on horses, and to do some of these things I'm doing.
Oh
Just
yeah.
copy.
I got a good book I got a couple books on animal drawing.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Marshall Vandriff was showing his extremely rough sketches just like this, straight from the pen, and they were very good. Marshall is one of those guys that he's the guy that's on with Proco all the time. Who I've had a great anatomy course he gives, which guys like Bernie Wrightson have gone to the trouble of saying this Marshall Vandriff. I learned, as much as Wrightson knew about anatomy, he felt like he learned a ton taking a Vandriff course, which he just made it a point of making it to a seminar.
Yeah. Is that the guy whose notes you
Yeah.
published on Lulu?
Yes, yeah. Uh-huh.
Or your notes?
I ought to publish those on Amazon, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you should.
I should do that. I should find that PDF and put that out on Amazon. It might be my biggest seller.
Dude, there are tons of anatomy books that you should, you might want to type part of them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah, you're right. No, a nice little edit would probably go over pretty big. Yeah, like this one, like this kind of a in the air horse that's guy's obviously having to contort himself to try to get on the other side of the horse. That was a big Elmore Leonard thing. He always made a point, like Valdez is coming in all his short stories, that Well, these cowboys back in the day, first thing they do is just they can shoot that big target, your horse. They just walk off and leave you because they know you die without a horse. You guys ever see
Oh yeah.
the X-Men series Byrne is doing on his blog? Yeah, it's just for
Yes.
fun. Yes, Scott is a huge fan of that, and yep.
Let's see. Where's mine at?
Oh yeah,
I printed the first 12 issues on Lulu. I got a book somewhere around here. Oh, here it is.
Oh, somebody new has come in. I just clicked on his comment. Mexi Wolf 009, Daniel Harris. I'm not sure. Do you know Daniel Harris, Scott?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Apologize if I do, Daniel.
Yeah. Mexi Wolf
Anyway,
009, Daniel Harris. Maybe
I've gotten. Well, this is on your YouTube. I've gotten a lot of YouTube followers recently, and I haven't done anything on my YouTube site. I need to.
Yeah, no, this YouTube is like what do they call it, AdSense or whatever that Google pays you from. Unless YouTube decides you should be burned.
Burned.
If you get big, they'll pay you for getting big.
Yeah, I don't think I have that. You have to have like 1,000 followers.
Yeah, you gotta get up there. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention that our last one had the one time I checked, and I said, well, that did pretty well. We had about like 42, and just today I checked, and we were like down to 36. I thought, what's going on? Why is it? I didn't even think you could do that. I thought if you'd if you'd watched it, you can't erase the fact that we got watched. It's like, what the heck?
They got mind wiped, like in Men in Black.
Yeah.
You will forget everything you ever knew about the black cricket.
Yeah. Exactly.
And whatever Ellis was working on.
Yeah. Speaking of me working, I'm having a good time. It's the writing is going along. I'm just about through what I know to be I had just a little too much shallow stuff happening, and I knew it was shallow when I did it, and I just wanted to get past it because it was just simple actions.
Yeah.
And I'm just about through it, and I've fleshed it out and made it less shallow. It's what feels like the great success. I thought, looking at it, it's like it's basically a guy roaming from place to place, being attacked by albino zombies, and it's like, this is.
Hey man, Jeff Darrow's made a lot of money doing a story like. Yeah. I mean, just a guy wandering around, basically a cross between Clint Eastwood and Seven Samurai.
Yeah. And it's like, but it kind of gets to you if you realize, you just get conscious of the fact, this could be a lot better. And that kind of weighs on you, and it shouldn't, because writing is rewriting. It's like, dig back in, it's hard, but you can shape it up.
Yeah.
Writing is rewriting.
Yes. I told somebody the other day, drawing is measuring.
In case you don't know out there, that's my notions something I actually came up with. It's pure goodson, and it's probably not true. It's probably somebody else that said it way before me. But I tried to, I was trying to, like a scene, I try to look for simple definitions that I can remember. And for plot, the word plot equals events. You can look at a plot as that. And I like that. And I liked, I was very attracted to Dan O'Bannon's notion of what a script is to him. And he says, for me, a script is fights. To always be realized, if there's not a fight occurring, I'm not writing a movie. You know, and when you say fights, it's not that you've got people with their hands around each other's throats. They're just got a conflict in the air between them.
That was probably one of the best things you've told me about writing was, or at least writing comics, was there should be a conflict on every page.
Yeah, you got to.
And it doesn't necessarily mean like a fight.
Yeah.
Good grief! I about knocked this page out tonight.
Excellent. Look at that. Well, it's because I put you into that alpha state of.
Yes. It was either draw or fall asleep.
Yes, yeah, it's exactly.
You will obey.
I ought to do that. They got these chants where they have ocean wave sounds, the sound of Ellis's voice. I'll put you to sleep.
The sound of no hands clapping.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, it took me a minute to get in the zone. I was kind of wondering.
Yeah, but I tell you what did it take? It took X amount of effort to get there. And that's what all creators have got to know. It's like, this isn't working and quitting. No, you gotta struggle. The struggle is real.
Well, how many times did I redraw that stupid face?
Exactly. Yeah. I used to call that, this whole area is cursed. I'm just going to have to move on from that.
Oh yeah. We at work, we say this order's snake bit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like something happens and we can't get the stupid order out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that sort of thing.
My old boss
be rough on a guy.
That order's snake bit. Yeah, when you got a deadline, gosh.
Yeah.
No wonder my blood pressure is high.
We're at 1 hour and 2 minutes, Scott.
Okay.
I guess we could call it.
Yeah.
And think about the film we're going to be making. Of course, we'd promote the hell out of it here on this channel. So anybody that hadn't subscribed to us yet, subscribe and stay updated on me and Scott's future film efforts.
Endeavors. Yeah.
Endeavors. And Dan says, night, guys. Good work.
Good night,
gents.
Dan. Hey, Dan, let me know. We had the four of us had a conversation on Facebook last night about something that was going to happen today. Let me know. Shoot me a message if anything happened. He'll know what that's about if he's still listening.
All right.
Anyway, I don't want to put it out there. But
yeah,
anyway.
I got you. Okay, Scott, I'm going to end it. And this is things that I probably won't be sending to Razorfist, but, it was fun to knock some ideas around.
Get them worked out, man. Get them worked out, and then you can.
Yeah. Okay, ending stream, Scott. You want to say anything else?
Nope. Thanks for being here. Thanks for everybody that supports our weekly thing, and keep your eyes peeled for the black cricket.
Dan just wrote one last note. Oh, I am waiting for everything to come in. So that's his answer.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, ending stream. There we go.